Ladies and gentlemen, there's something truly sinister afoot. Rainbow Six Esports Corporation is trying to take away the Stage 3 MVP from the Stage 3 MVP, Hotancold, by a fan vote on Instagram. So look, okay, I'm going to go through the comments and see what everybody has to say about this. I'll make it easy for you. It's Hotancold. Skip the popularity contest. It's not even a question, Lamau. Then if we go down here, look, Pengu says, wait, we vote? Don't the stats speak for themselves? It's not even close. It's not, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even close. Not even close. No prod L. Okay, that's beside the point. What else? Vertical, don't vote for vertical. It's clearly Hotancold. Okay, Hotancold gets the MVP. Yeah, ignore the first part. Hotancold, terrible idea. They refuse to give it to Hotan, and they do. Why? But why? Why do they not want him to have it? They're giving the chance for 7 other MFs to win this award that, I mean, they were good, sure, but do they deserve the MVP over Hotancold? No way. Okay, now, all right, let's review. Back in stage 1, Hotancold, second highest rated player after Grixer, and admittedly, it's a pretty big gap between Grixer and Hotancold. 0.1 rating. Grixer's team place higher than Hotancold's team, but Hotancold sort of dragged Mirage. Why won't this go away? Go away. Stop. Oh my god. Okay. No, it's back. Okay. Hotancold dragged Mirage from the depths to a 3rd place finish. How he do that? Yo, nobody knew he had such power. Okay. He was on Dark Zero. He was on like Hard Breach and whatever. And then he got picked up by Mirage and he went completely nuclear. Okay, but so in this first stage, right, it makes sense. He wasn't the top performing player. It was by a pretty big margin. Like, there's maybe some arguments for Hotancold to have won it here, but I think Grixer was deserving. Anyways, all right, stage 2. Where is it? Here it is. Hotancold, 1.33 rating. Now, this is tied with Rexon, but I guess if they're exactly tied on rating, then I don't know, Hotancold is alphabetically first or something, but maybe the numbers, maybe this is a rounded number and his number unrounded is actually larger than Rexon's. But anyways, but it wasn't even Rexon who got the MVP of the stage. It was Hyper. And look, Hyper, he was close behind, and he, I mean, you know, he was the best player on his team, and his team had a lot of close calls. If Hyper had been just a little bit worse, Dark Zero might have done a little bit worse, and they won like all their games in overtime. And they did put up the same record as Space Station, technically, if you discount overtimes. Like, they were both 7-1, right? With Dark Zero even beating Space Station. So if you got a full 3 points, regardless of overtime or not, then they would have been first place actually, instead of like 4th place or whatever. 3rd place, 4th place, I think they ended in. But yeah, a little bit of a robbery. I mean, look, Hotancold only went plus 23, which isn't as high as either of these guys. But look, KPR higher. He did not have to play as many rounds because they were so good. Higher cost, lower survival rate, admittedly. But yeah, I mean, he might have even boosted his rating if he played another map 7, or if he played another map beyond 7, which, I mean, based on his performance in all 3 stages, seemed likely. So it could have put him head and shoulders above the competition, but he didn't even get that choice because the cowardly Beast Coast had to forfeit. Okay, so once again, taken it away from him. This one, certainly more of a robbery than stage 1. Now let's look at the stage 3 stats. Look, they're trying to take the MVP from this guy? This guy? The guy who went plus 51 on like over a 2 KD, who went plus 16 on entry with a 9 entry KD, who had a 76% a 1.17 KPR and a 45% survival rate, and even a 1vx and a plant to boot, and a 58%. Yeah, that doesn't really matter too much. Okay, how can they think? Right, okay. So the other people that they're putting against, look, it's Vertical, Rexon, Grixer, Rampy, Achieve, not Kansan. They just skipped Kansan. Bolts, and J9O. And look, J9O, best player on his team, but his team got dumpstered this stage. J9O went colossal in one game, dropped an ace, dropped the kill record, set the kill record, which was then broken by Achieve, but at the time was the NAL kill record. Okay, so he's in here. But look, okay, let's go back to the other thing. Let's see who. Okay, if you actually vote for these, of course, Hotancold should win 100% of the votes in each of his matchups. Unfortunately, it's against Fultz, his teammate, so he's got to take him down. But it's well deserved. I mean, Hotancold, especially since he didn't win either of the other 2 MVPs, gotta win it here. But even if those 2 stages didn't exist, like, his stats are just clearly head and shoulders above the rest. They were, for the second stage in a row, the best team by far because of Hotancold and because of the other players, but especially because of Hotancold. Okay, look, Hotancold got to win this round. This round, though, Vertical or J90, who's going to win it? I'd probably say Vertical, because even though J90 was like the best player on his team by far, Vertical was also kind of the best player on his team by far, and J90 might have been a hero on a completely struggling team, whereas Vertical's not all of his teammates were struggling. Fox they all put up like okay numbers, I think, but Vertical brought his team to a second place finish. J90, they finished what, 7th? Like if maybe they'd finish like 5th or something, I could say him, but just because he had the one hero game, nah, this is a Vertical dub. Okay, Rexon versus Rampy. I don't know. I guess Rexon. I don't know. Like, wait, let me look at the stats again. Wasn't Rexon like way better? Oh no, not way better. It's pretty close actually. But with Rexon being the best player on his team and Rampy being only the second best player on his team, and Rexon having the better stats, and I'd say he probably even had more hero games where he was the hero of his team. I don't even know if Rampy had one hero game, because, oh man, when you got the hero Hotancold on your team, how are you supposed to have a hero game? Probably Rexon will win here. And then for this one, let's look at the stats one more time. I think Grixer's higher. Yeah, Grixer's higher, but I think in terms of like MVP, clutch status, or whatever, I think you give it to Achieved, because, actually, they didn't even make the top 4, so it's a little bit questionable. But I think also for the fact that if Rexon wins this round, I think maybe Grixer loses the round. Okay, give it to Achieved. But really, in an ideal world, I don't want to give such power to Achieve to the TSM emblem. So the earlier he's knocked out, the better, because if anybody has a chance of taking down the hero Hotancold, it has to be the villain TSM. So knock him out, but he probably deserves to win this round. Okay, and then we go to the next round. It's Hotancold versus Vertical. And yeah, I mean, obviously it's Hotancold. Vertical, second place. At some points in the stage, it looked like Vertical might have been able to end up in the #1 position over Hotancold if Vertical had continued to do better than Hotancold. But that wasn't the case. Or, well, not continued, but if he had done better than Hotancold, because they were neck and neck for a few playdays there, I think. So Hotancold dub, take him to the finals. Okay, Rexon versus Achieved. Okay, I gotta go back to stats again. I'm so flustered, I can't remember. Okay, Rexon, Achieved. I mean, yeah, like Rexon, he has a higher rating. He has better on entry, he has higher KD, he has a higher cost, he has a higher KPR, he has a higher... Okay, well, I wanted to say Achieve at first, but I'm gonna have to give it to Rexon there. Okay, so Rexon to the finals. And also, yeah, again, can't let TSM snowball too hard. Rexon versus the Hotancold in the finals, the top 2 players from stage 2. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's a Hotancold dub. Give it to him. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I beg of you, if like this would be one of the greatest tragedies that mankind has ever seen. Don't allow this to happen. And better yet, boycott all of the voting except for in the rounds of Hotancold. Don't even vote for this one or this one or this one. Just vote for Hotancold in each round. To send a message, guys. Send a message to Rainbow Six Esports Corporation that we will not stand for this blasphemy, larceny, shenanigans. Don't let it happen. Don't let it be him. Don't let it be you.